Good afternoon, my little bowls of warm champ. How are you? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck. And I'm coming today with, you've seen the title, it's my 84 and 85mm Victoria and Wenger. So, Victoria were the original makers of the Swiss Army knife, which it later became known, and Wenger were a couple of years after them. They were both from Europe. I think they were actually quite close together. Now victorinox owns Wenger. And there was differences, slight differences in their tools and their sizes. The victorinox are 84mm in this example, and the Wengers are 85mm. So there's nothing much between them. And they come in all the different variants of sizes. Today I'm just concentrating on these ones. This is my little collection of the 84. And I'm having so much fun collecting these, and also trying to learn the names, trying to learn the differences. I have no idea with age. I haven't worked that out at all. But I will do eventually. I'm not in a rush. I'm enjoying collecting the knives for their different. They've all got something different in most of them. I don't tend to collect twos of something. Like everything else I do, it's just one of each, and I'm quite happy then. But I'm going to start with your posh sort of a carry. This is the Alox Cadet. The Cadet's probably the most well-known Victorinox that's ever been made, apart from the soldier's knife. But this is, just a typical Victorinox, and I just want to show you the initial blades. This one has the cap lifter and the small screwdriver, which is a 2D Phillips. And then on the other side, you have... Sorry, this is the can opener. This is the bottle opener with the full flathead, and this is the can opener with the 2D Phillips and a small flathead. Absolutely perfect little tools to have on you for any instance when you want to use them. The main blade is a beautiful Victorinox do a lovely blade, a spear type blade. Beautiful, big enough to do any job. I'm just going to check the size on this wee 84mm and see what size the blade is. It's something I've never actually measured, because the cutting edge is 2¼ and the full is 2½. So it's a good enough blade that would do most people all their day's work. But I know I carry these with another knife. And Victorinox, I'm finding that I tend to carry when I'm carrying a good other knife. Do you know what I mean? These silver and the blue ones, if I'm carrying my higher end knife, which is my Jack Wolf knives, this is in the blue fat carbon, I'll carry this or a blue one, because they're just handy to have. And if there's any dirty work or rough work, these can do it. I don't mind replacing one of these. It's 20 odd pound, £275. Hell of a difference. So any rough jobs, these will get to do it. So this is just a lovely knife. And you also have a little pen blade at the very back here on this one, which again, so handy. You can keep them razor sharp just with stropping. You very rarely ever have to sharpen them unless you hard use them. But that's my wedding one, or going somewhere. If you got a suit pocket, it'll just lie flat in your suit pocket and you'll not notice it being there. The next one I'm going to come along is the Bartender. Again, some of their names are absolutely fantastic. Some of them I have no idea where they get them from, as you'll see as we go on. Some wacky names. So in this one you have the wine corkscrew, you have a main blade, and then you have a bottle opener. And it's got a wire strip around the flathead, but the tools are bottle opener, the wine, and the main blade. That's a perfect little, and a lot of them will have sort of companies advertising on them. This one's Badder. I don't know what they do, but you also get a toothpick and tweezers on this, and a little ring to put whatever you want on it. You can put it on your key ring if you want it. If you were an actual barman, I would put a little clip on it, stick it in my pocket, and it's with you all day long. Super little tool. And if you have a bar in the house, set that down. It'll cut your limes or your lemons. It'll do everything that you need behind your little bar. So easy for anybody to come in and use. Not a complicated knife. So now we're going to go up to the ones that have got a bit more tools. And this first one here is the blue tie. I've got them limited. This is the Recruit. Beautiful little knife, no back tools, which I'm finding I like more and more, is one with no back tools, because usually it's going to be the a lot of Victorinox have these corkscrews. I don't particularly like them because I'll never use them, or very, very, very rarely will I need one. So we're going to go through. In the front of this, you have your can opener and the little flathead or 2D Phillips, your bottle opener and the big flathead on there. So these are just the basic tools on this. You have the knife and you have the pen knife. So it's really simple, really compact, much like the Cadet. It's just a very simple knife. Sorry, the Cadet too. I think I got that wrong. The Cadet on the back, it's not a pen knife. They use the pen knife blade, but it's got a little file there for your nails. This is a nail cleaner. Don't know why I missed that, but it's because they use that the pen blade shape when they're doing the nail cleaner outer. So this one is just a perfect, lovely size, 2-layer. You got the tweezers and the toothpick. Again, this one's on the back. It's got a Starlinger, but just a lovely compact size knife. These are just perfect. They don't take up. There's no weight to them. So whether you just drop it in your pocket, like I'll do with the red ones, and just pull it out when you need it, or you can put little clips on them. I've none on these, but you know what the little clips are like. What did I say this one was? This is the Recruit, and then the next one is the Walker. Now, this I really love because, again, it's only 2 layers, and it's got some of the tools I like if I'm going out for a walk. If you're a knife person, getting a bit of stick down and whittling it is great, or cutting a bit of stick off a branch. If you get the wood that you want especially, it's nice to have this. So the front tool in this is the bottle opener and a little screwdriver, flathead screwdriver there. And then you have the main blade, and then you have the tool that really sets this, like the Walker. It's got the saw. Fantastic big saw, works absolutely fantastic. So even if you're sitting doing a bit of whittling and you want to carve in, you've got the saw, you've everything there. The Walker, one of my favourite little pocket knives if I'm taking the dogs out. And then that's the 4 84mm ones that I have. Then we come to Wenger, and I just want to show you the difference in a Wenger straight away that you can tell. It's a boxed shape cross, and this one is like the shield with a cross in the middle. So that lets you know this is a Wenger and this is a Victorinox. Is there a difference in the colour of the scales? It depends what the age of them are, so you can't really go by that. But that shield is always going to be Wenger and then Victorinox. So the first Wenger that I'm going to come to is the Commander. And this one, the Commander, has a corkscrew. I have got the little eyeglass piece in it. And on the other side, you have the punch. There's no eye, no so on eye, so it's just a punch. You can see that it's shaved down here, so you'll actually, if you flatten that a little bit, you would have nearly like an instrument screwdriver, a little small technical screwdriver. You could do that if you wanted to. But I just leave it as the awl because I do use awls quite a lot. I enjoy that, especially when I'm playing about with a bit of wood. So, now here's the difference. There's a big difference straight away. You can see, oh no, not in that one. Where am I? Let's get this one out. Right. There's the can opener on a Victorinox. Now, they did change and they have different ones. There's the Wenger. Personally, I love this Wenger one because it's easy for punching, and you can go backwards or you can go forwards when you're taking it out. Claw your way round or come backwards. I love this Wenger one more than I do the Victorinox. Don't know why, but there we go. You've got a choice. So I do like that, I have to say. This is called the claw, the crab claw. And then on the other side, you have and this is another difference between the Wenger and the Victorinox. They both have the same screwdriver and cap lifter and a wire stripper, but the Wengers, they patented this. When you push this down, I can't really show it, but when you push this down, this sinks in and locks it. so that if you're using it to undo a tight screw, it's not going to fold inward on you, which I think is a really super idea for a tool. And I really wish they could have done it with their Phillips screws on their other knives that are in line, especially Victorinox. I really wish they've got a lot of inline screwdrivers that are Phillips. And if they had done that, it just would have been absolutely perfect. But that's a really handy tool. And it's why I kind of like, oh, it had stuck in there, so I couldn't close it. Really effective tool, very, very simple. And the blade, look at this blade. And again, I'm going to take out a Victorinox blade just to show you the difference. And there is a difference. There you go. The Victorinox, now this blade's been used quite a bit. The Victorinox is more of a straighter blade, and this blade has a belly, a longer belly on it, which I really, now you can see how much this one's been used, but a beautiful belly on it. Let me just change that over and I'll show you this one. There you go, there's a fuller blade. So you can see the belly on the Wenger knife much more clearer. So there is a big difference there. I prefer this. Definitely for slicing, if you're cutting meat up and whatever, this I would definitely prefer over the Victorinox. And the only difference, now this one was the Commander. I mean, why it's got the Commander name, I've no idea. It doesn't correlate with any of the tools that makes them different. This one I like. This would probably be my favourite Wenger that I've had so far. And I've got a couple of other Wengers, but this one, as a small pocket knife, 2-layer, brilliant. This one has the big blade. On the back end of that, it has the newer type file, which is fantastic, and the nail cleaner. I showed you that, and then obviously the cap lifter and screwdriver. But on the back, which is the nice part, it has the Phillips screwdriver. Now, not my preferred place to have it, but it's better having it than not having it. I mean, if you have to get in a long, skinny place, you're not going to do it. But for most things, it's going to do as a good. And it's a fantastic Phillips. And then on the other side of that, you'll see there's a little inlay in here. And it has the awl, which is a longer, slimmer one at the end than it is on this other Wenger. So they changed them over the years, and I don't know the years yet. But down here, rather than on the Victorinox, on your back tools, let me just get one with back tools. That's not particularly a great one. No, I haven't got another one. But they've got little cutouts. Let me just show you where the owls are. They've got little cutouts, which makes it easier to get into. And you don't have that on the Victorinox. You have to get your finger in the end and pull them out most of the time. But just beautiful, really nicely made. This here is definitely one of my favourite, and I'll probably carry it more than the rest of them because of that Phillips. Again, over here in the UK, flathead screws are really a dying. Very rarely do you see a flathead screw, other than maybe an old plug or something like that. But I love this. And again, if I've got a nice red knife that's, you know, a bit of higher quality, I can take it with me. And I love carrying my higher quality knives. Yes, to use, but more to have just in my pocket if somebody stops me. I'm the knife man. I want to have a nice knife and also a useful multi-tool. These fill in that gap. These fill in the gap. So there you go. And yeah, I'm sad. I like to go with colours. I like to match colours. And I try to do that as much as I can. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see that. I love matching the colours up. Again, another part of this hobby that, you know, maybe he's not talked about enough. But just to have the different tool sets that you can have with each of them. When you get up in the morning, not only do you have to think of which beautiful knife you want to carry, which beautiful multi-tool, what are you more likely to use? And then you can take that in the hopes that it covers anything that comes along. But the Bartender, if you've got a little bar in the house, fantastic. If you work in a bar, fantastic knife. So there you go. Now, this is the 84mm. Here's a 94mm or 91mm, just so you see the difference. This one's an 85. So there is a, you know, a fair substantial difference, especially in weight. Well, this is the heavier one. It's only got 2 layers, but it's a heavier. This is 2 layers and you can't feel it. But this with the A-lock scales and the bigger blade set, you can feel the difference in weight, even in your pocket. But it's not going to weigh you down or make you walk around in circles, but you can feel the difference. I mean, I'm just enjoying having them and trying to remember their names, like a Highlander. Why is that a Highlander? I have no idea what that name. I wish they had names that were more. They've got fishermen and things like that, which is great, and they've to do with fish. But a Highlander, where I've no idea how they get that, or a Commander, no idea. But anyhow, it's the joy of collecting something else. You know, it's another outlet. I have about 40 of these knives now. One, because they're not as expensive to buy, and I sold a couple of my higher end knives, so that I had nearly within a month I had bought about 40, but I sold other knives to cover it. And some of them were knives that I probably didn't want to, GECs and things, but it's a great way of getting money back to put in to the channel. And now I'm getting a range now that where I can make videos that are a little bit different. And I'm going to start doing more an EDC video, you know, once every fortnight or something, where I'm going to show you how I picked my EDC and why I just love having colour matches. Anyway, what a lot of waffle. Paddy's away. I hope you enjoyed these. If you haven't tried the 84mm victorinox or the Wengers, please try them. These are 85, these are 84. Blade Bridge Limited is where I get most of my Swiss Army knives from. He's on numerous places, but Instagram at the minute, Facebook, Blade Bridge Limited. Go on there, Dan, lovely fella. These are not high up in my collective. They're not but the older ones will become, because that's what I'm looking for now. Older ones so that I compare with the modern. But these are reasonably priced. You know, most of these I got off Dan for just super reasonable price. Even full price are not bad. But when you're buying them, Dan sells them nearly half to a third off the full price, which is, depending on what it is, it's fantastic. Great new avenue to get into, especially if you're not, well, it doesn't matter whether you got money or not. They're just a great value knife. They've been going for so long. Their fit and finish is 9.5 times out of 100, you're going to get a completely perfect knife. That is huge compared to the rest of the knife world. But anyway, I'm away. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. If there's anyone you want to see a full review on, please let me know. I'll happily do that, and they'll be coming along the way anytime. But if you want one sooner rather than later, if you're thinking of buying one, and if you're thinking of buying anything, I've got a good selection of knives. If there's any particular tool you want, ask me and I'll get that. If I've got it, I'll get that knife out, and we'll talk through it before you buy it. There you go. Right, I'm gone definitely this time. Have a nice day. Bye now.